Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, reviews. And today I'm reviewing Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. It's been out a few weeks in theaters. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Yeah, this is going to be a review slash apology because, I should be all in on stuff like this. I've played Dungeons and Dragons, big old nerd, love fantasy things, all that good stuff, and I was super excited for this movie, and yet it's taken almost a month for me to actually go see it. And for that, I want to say just like I'm sorry to the people who made this film, that I slept on it so hard, and I hate that so many other people are sleeping on it so hard. So this review is really to say people should be watching this movie. This movie, like, spoiler alert, this movie is awesome. This movie is so great. It's got everything that you really want out of a fun action adventure film. There's plenty of fun jokes. There's plenty of ass kicking. Magic. The CG is well done. Like, yeah, it's a bit long. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes long, but that doesn't really, make it worse. It actually improves it because, it's not just introducing new characters. It's and the world and everything like that, but then it's actually going in depth into who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. They're juggling like 4 or 5 characters in this, plus the bad guy, and you really kind of, you get a bad guy that's somewhat nuanced, maybe, but also a bad guy who's just straight up, hey, we're evil, we're doing this thing. And then the good guys who are, sort of roguish, a little, I don't even want to call a bit bumbling, but very roguish. And then when it gets down to it, they're going to go do what they're supposed to, kick ass and all that. I love, like, basically there's no bad performance in this. They're led by Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez. They are arguably the center of this movie, as Edgin the Bard and Holga the Barbarian, kind of they're a platonic friend couple. They're not romantically involved, but they are very much there for each other and have been for years. And they're the nucleus of this group. And then they pretty much they have to they have to get out of prison and then go to Edgin's daughter and Holga's kind of, I guess you'd say, adopted daughter, if you will, only to find out that one of their ex-friends, Forge, he's a con man that's become the Lord of Neverwinter, which is one of the big cities in the Forgotten Realms, and he's in league with evil wizards and basically to get power, and has poisoned the daughter Kira against them. Kira, who's played very, very deftly by Chloe Coleman, who you've probably seen over the years. Last thing I saw her in was My Spy. She's quite good in this. But what follows is just kind of this, kind of rollicking adventure where they pick up, new people into the party, and it's very much a D&D sort of deal. If you've never played, it's essentially, why do 5 people come together to go on adventures and kick ass and find these things, and they look for treasures that'll help them ultimately beat the bad guys and all that good stuff. There's a lot of setup. If you've ever played the game, you'll understand it. This feels like they basically took a campaign where you're sitting down and rolling dice, and said, let's just make a movie about that. In the sense of, silliness, like lots of jokes, lots of silliness, but also incomprehensible odds being surmounted by what you would feel like they're dice rolls that just somehow went right. And, definitely some dungeon master fudging here and there. And it's all good because the characters themselves are just fun. Edgin as a bard that you're not really sure what he brings to the table, and yet he's definitely leading the crew. People listen to him. He's kind of got this can-do attitude that everyone sort of deals with. Is quite funny. I think Reggae John Page, hilariously unhilarious as Zank the paladin, just like a stick in the mud. But it is such a funny rendition of a humorless person that takes everything seriously, that it loops back around into being really funny. And he gets an action sequence that just kicks ass. Like, he just beats the hell out of these assassins. You have Justice Smith as Simon the Sorcerer, and he is he's inept, and yet he still manages to pull off some like really cool magic, really cool things at the right time. He's actually absolutely does know a good deal about magic. And Sophia Lillis, she's just awesome as Doric. She's a druid, shape changing druid tiefling, and just cool. Just she's essentially sort of a ranger, but she kicks ass, and she can change shapes and just goes ham. And like all good parties, they just kind of come together, and at first they don't really know how to fight or well together, but at the end they all come together and just do that thing where all five of them just go hard against the bad guy. And the bad guy is significant. You got Hugh Grant as Forge. He's a con man. No particular skills. He just has the army of Neverwinter on his side. And then you have Daisy Head as Sophina. She's a red wizard who's got this scheme to essentially take over a whole city and maybe a country. And it's evil, and that you got to stop it. You don't need to know anything else. Evil, needs to stop it. And just they're constantly putting these things in the way. There's because there's such a powerful enemy. There's things that these five people have to sort of do to get they got to get this particular special magical item that'll help them do a thing. And then they find this portal staff thingy, and that it helps them do like a little Ocean's 11 style heist. And then when it all comes down to it, they could escape and with the riches, or they could save the city, and then it's a save the city situation. And they just go in and fighting not just the guards, but fighting this extremely powerful wizard. And it could have just been that, but there's actual character and story going on here with each, backstory for each of them. Sort of, gives you an understanding that Simon the Sorcerer, there is a reason why he's not so confident in himself. Doric the druid, she's fighting for her homeland and the people that are basically being driven out. Regé-Jean Page, he's a member, he's from a nation that's considered evil, but yet he's a lawfully good person, and he's sort of dealing with his past. And of course we know Holga, we find out that she was banished from her clan because of her reason for someone she loved. And Edgins, he's got a tragic back. They all have these tragic backstories, and so when it finally comes together at the big fight, you're not just pulling for them. You know exactly why they're doing what they're doing, and what their motivations are, and you like them, and so all of the action and stuff really kind of plays all of that up. It's funny. I laughed a lot in this movie, but then there's actually a part that had me tearing up, and I think Michelle Rodriguez, believe it or not, some of the best acting I've seen from her in a long time. She really embodies Holga the barbarian. They really play up her physicality, but there's a part where she really shows her emotional side to Kira, kind of her adopted daughter of sorts. And there's some predictability to it, and I don't care. I still got tears because of it. So at the end of it, I had a great time with this movie. I was just smiling, laughed a lot. It really made me want to see more of this, which is, again, I apologize because I slept on this, and I was wrong. Absolutely wrong. Should not have slept on this, should not have stayed away for so long. I'm absolutely going to watch this movie many more times in the future, and I hope more people do. At least catch it on streaming or something, rent it, whatever. We need a sequel to this, and we're not going to get it at the box office it has now. But it deserves so much better than it has right now. And I'm just hoping that other people will realize they were sleeping on it too, and then we get a push to make a sequel to this. So anyway, that's my thoughts on this movie. What did you guys think about it? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see these videos. All right, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me. Come back to the channel. We got plenty more reviews and, of course, the podcast, the Supercast. Till then, I've been Motley, your resident fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.